Hi friends, Wild Bloom Homestead. Thanks for tuning into my channel. If you like what this video is about, hit the like button and subscribe so you can see my future videos. We're getting ready to go make some compost. I very much live in a city in Ohio, and when I first started out, I knew nothing about gardening. I felt gardening was a call to my heart from the Lord to get out here and get my hands in the soil and cultivate and nurture, and I've kind of grown since then. I do have some other videos where you can see from 2019 to at least 2020, I think is all I have up, or 2021. You can kind of see how it's changed. I have done a spring tour, so a pre-spring tour, so before all my plants get in the ground, you can check that out and kind of get an idea of how it's grown. One of the basic things I had to learn though was compost. I did get some compost initially at Home Depot, but then I learned the basics of how easy it was to do myself. I kind of was sitting on my front porch one day and I realized that, hey, in the winter, I'm not one of those that pushes all my leaves to the street. I always took them and kind of covered my landscape out front. Kind of a small tip I learned from my grandfather. And then in the spring, of course, it gave me more cleanup, but my plants were always big out front. So I was like, I wonder if I can use that. So I started investigating. Compost has four major things. You only need 4. Don't get on these channels, please, that tell you to do these complicated methods where you're boxing them in separately. Those have a purpose, but in a city, on something much smaller scale, this is what you want to do. You need green material, brown material, water, and air. The green material is going to be things like kitchen scraps. I keep this right outside my kitchen, and it's got oozy stuff coming out, sorry. This is kitchen scraps. I keep it right outside my kitchen, and when I'm done with like anything plant-based, fruit or vegetables that I can compost down, or eggshells, goes in this bucket. And when it gets to where it's full, I tend to bring it back here. I wanted to show you also coffee grounds, filter and all. This breaks down. This is considered the organic material. Green material. So I guess if you think go green, that's what you want to put in your compost bin. Then you have the leaves, which is right here. This is brown material. You can see it's got some life in it. There's some mushrooms, but that is the bad microbes, and we want that to break down. We want this to be breathing, live things. Over here in the corner of compost is where I've cleaned out the chicken coop just a couple weeks ago, and you can see some green in there. We'll throw grass clippings in there when I'm not topping them on my beds. You can use things for the brown material like newspaper, cardboard, dry leaves, the straw. I like to use the straw because guess what it's got in it? It's got chicken poo, and I want it in my compost to break down. One of the most important things when you're breaking sticks, sorry, I jumped there on you. This was an old mum. It breaks down. Plant material. Going in there. So I'm just going to start throwing this stuff in here and show you what I do. Do not put any wires, plastic, no meat, no oils, eggshells, but not the egg yolks. So no cheese scraps. So when I get down to like a fruit that I can't no longer break down on my own, throw it in there. Then I take everything that came in the pot, if I don't want to use this to repot, and I would scoop it in there. But I paid for this pot and I paid for this dirt, so I'm going to plant something in there. I'm leaving it in the pot. This is the sludgy kitchen material. It's going in here. You can see plenty of eggshells there. And then I will rinse that out and put it back on my deck to put stuff in. Potatoes from the dinner the other day. Going in there. This is just more coffee grounds that I was collecting. Chicken or scraps from dinner. just going to dump it in there, not the plastic. This is just more like coffee ground stuff that I'm saving. Going in there. Get this stuff out of the way.
Okay, I totally decided to put this on fast play and do a voiceover. I'm highly allergic, like end up having to go to the emergency room, and there was like 6 wasps that flew out and started like diving at me. So bless my husband's heart, he got in there and he started taking down some of them, and then we ended up having to go find some wasp killer and spray things down and then clean all that off because of my chickens, and it was a hot mess. But basically, I hope that this helped you figure out how to do the compost, that you have the brown material, green material, air, and water, and you kind of get the idea of a breakdown. Should you choose to do this inside of a barrel or a container, it's the same exact process. I would break everything down into as small pieces as possible, put it in there, and you want to go